most countries, they do very well in their core central real estate or luxury real estate because of foreigner money that's coming in to invest in these properties. Now, the moment you cut off that pipeline for foreign money to invest in your luxury core central properties, what's going to happen is that segment is going to suffer, which is unfortunately, of course, when we look at our whole Singapore map, OCR is like the largest. I mean, this is like OCR. And then you have like RCR, okay. And then you have like CCR. And of course, like Sentosa as well. Now, what are we going to talk about is that the ABSD, 60% for foreigners, we shared last year, based on analysis, why this happened and why the government is implementing this, straight away doubling from 30% to 60% is because there's been some numbers that foreigners are buying OCR properties. I shared that also in a couple of seminars and public forums and all that. So there's been an increasing amount of foreigners buying up OCR properties. Now, OCR properties, we call it basically the mass market condos. This is also the HDB upgraders playground because a lot of Singaporeans, they grew up here. They want to buy back private properties here. But the moment I think foreigners start to buy up properties here, that is a concern for national policy because we don't want the private properties to be priced out for local Singaporeans' aspiration. Now, I think actually what we can do is that we can think about how do we be creative about this? Because what is going to happen is that I think if we continue with this, the CCR market is going to be dead. This is already 2005 PSF for new launches. RCR is already how much? 2005 to 2008?
Yes.
Yeah.
PSF. How much did EOK's higher PSF transact?
2008.
2008, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
2788 PSF.
2008 PSF.
2008.
Close to 20, yeah.
Now, come on, you look at CCR. Okay, I'm not saying which project is good or bad. Okay, I'm just saying if you're thinking about buying a one bedder and let's say you only got $1.3 million and you want to buy a one bedder in OCR, I'm not saying that it is a bad investment. Okay, if you really like that area, by all means, go ahead. If you want to go for a new launch, you have one bedders at 1.3 million. But if you just look closely, actually in CCR, $1.3 million can get you a one bedder or can get you a studio, right? And there are choices here. Some of them are even freeholds. Now, the PSF here, in relation to what's happening here, is it really starts to not to make sense. Why? Because some of the PSF are still at 2,000 plus PSF. Of course, there's 3, 4, 5, 6,000 Nasim and all that. But what I'm trying to say is that this market can be a tiered market for foreigners. For example, instead of just having a blanket 60%, what if we be creative and we say that, okay, now I allow foreigners to come in, but you can only buy CCR properties. And if you buy CCR properties, I'm going to tier it for you. For example, anything above 6 million upwards, 0 ABSD. Example, maybe 5 million, I will tax you 5%. Maybe 4 million, I tax you 10%. Maybe 3 million, I tax you 15%. Maybe 2 million, I tax you 30% or whatever it is. But you cannot touch RCR and you cannot touch OCR. Why don't we tier it by region and also by a tier system? Because I think CCR properties is the most attractive properties in every country. And the luxury properties and all that are very attractive to foreign investors. And now what is happening is that most foreign investors, they come in, they will set up a family office first, or they will rent first. They'll try to get a PR. Then they will try to go for citizenship, which actually, if you look at it from a point of view, once they get citizenship, actually a lot of our clients, once they get naturalized citizenship, they're high net worth individual, straight away they ask us to bring them a buy lender already. So I'm not sure. I'm just thinking from a point of view of CCR properties. These are fantastic properties, but if we don't tier it or we don't try to find a creative method to do it, these properties are going to be dead. And Singaporeans don't really like to live in CBD or I mean, there are some Singaporeans that love to live in D10, I mean, that for schools and all that, but there are a lot of areas in CCR that are fantastic to live in and to own.